The Wheel of Time is set in the future of an unnamed world in which a dragon is reborn periodically. The dragon is an immensely powerful champion of the light against the Dark One. No one knows where or when the dragon will be reborn.
Can you give me a hint?
But it is essential to find the person quickly, because the dragon is so powerful that he or she can imprison the Dark One for 3,000 years or end up destroying the world. Moiraine Damodred is the principal Aes Sedai searching for the dragon, so he can be the champion of the light. She's accompanied by her warder, Lan Mandragoran. Aes Sedai and warders are bonded, and the bonding gives the warder heightened abilities, such as going without food, water, or rest for long stretches, and surviving injuries that would kill a regular man. And Aes Sedai is a woman who can channel the One Power, and has been trained at the White Tower of Tar Valon. Men are able to channel the One Power, but eventually they end up going mad. Moiraine arrives at the small town of Edmondsfield in the Two Rivers. There we were introduced to Egwene Alveri, Rand at Thor, Nynaeve Almere, Perrin Aybara, and Mat Cawthorn. Moiraine informs them that one of them is the Dragon Reborn. That night, a Fade and an army of Trollocs invade the town looking for the Dragon Reborn. Fade are eyeless creatures that are extremely intelligent and a dangerous type of shadow spawn. Trollocs are also a type of shadow spawn. The Fade are usually tied to a large horde of Trollocs as the leader of the group. They have the ability to command Trollocs, the larger and more animalistic type of shadow spawn. The Trollocs end up killing many of the villagers and burn down a lot of the buildings, but 4 of the 5 Dragon Reborn are able to escape with Moiraine. She and Lan begin leading them back to the White Tower, which is the home base for the Aes Sedai. The Amyrlin Seat is the leader of this group, and the most powerful Aes Sedai. Nynaeve is captured by the Trollocs and dragged out of the village, and we aren't sure if she's alive or dead. Moiraine was injured in the fighting by a Trolloc knife, and the poison is taking its toll on her. Usually Aes Sedai travel in groups so they can heal each other, because they were unable to heal themselves. Moiraine didn't have an Aes Sedai with her, so she is slowly succumbing to the poison. Perrin is haunted by the fact that during the battle with the Trollocs, he accidentally stabbed and killed his wife in the chaos. Many Trollocs are pursuing Moiraine, Lan, Rand, Egwene, Perrin, and Mat. The group crosses a waterway that the Trollocs are unable to follow them through. So Moiraine sinks the raft they crossed on, so the Trollocs can't pursue them without having to go around the long way. On the journey to the White Tower, Rand, Egwene, Perrin, and Mat are all having the same dream about the Dark One, who is trying to connect with them. None of them knows which one is the possible dragon, but it's clear that Moiraine thinks that it's going to be Egwene. After a detour, the Trollocs are able to catch up to the group again, partly because of Moraine's failing health, and partly because they're very fast. They forced the group into the Shadar Logoth, which used to be a great city, but it destroyed itself during the Trolloc Wars by becoming as dark and evil as the shadow it was fighting against. The city is surrounded by a giant wall, but it has a large crack in it, which the group uses to enter the city. Late that night, Mak wakes up and finds the ruby-hilted dagger in a box. Like all things in the city, it was consumed by the evil that consumed the residents, and will pass the madness on to whoever carries it. Right after Mat finds the dagger, a dark substance begins spreading throughout the city, and chasing each of the group members who are forced to split up to escape. The black material stays within the walls of the city, and all of them end up living. They are now separated into smaller groups. We learn that Nynaeve was able to escape the Trollocs that captured her, and she's able to track down Moiraine and Lan. The group is now split into smaller groups consisting of Rand and Mat together, Egwene and Perrin together, and Moiraine, Lan, and Nynaeve together. All of them are still making their way towards the White Tower. Perrin and Egwene are being pursued by a pack of wolves, which they initially think are trying to harm them. But we later learn that Perrin has some sort of connection with them, and the wolves are actually helping the two make their way to the White City. They run into a group known as the Tuatha'an, pacifist nomadic people who are traveling in a caravan and searching for a lost song.
What did you do with it?
The song supposedly existed in the Last Age and was able to cure the world, but the Tuatha'an lost it. The caravan is eventually confronted by the Children of the Light. The Children of the Light are an independent military organization dedicated to finding dark friends. Eamon Valda, who is with the Children of the Light, wants to speak with Egwene and Perrin. Eamon ties them both down and begins torturing Perrin because he believes that will make Egwene channel the one true power. The children believe that channeling the one true power is evil, so they kill the Aes Sedai. However, Egwene and Perrin are able to eventually escape and kill Eamon. Meanwhile, Rand and Mat make it to a bar and meet Dana, who runs the establishment. She agrees to let them stay with her for the night, for some assistance chopping firewood and serving beer. Dana turns out to be a dark friend. The room that she let Mat stay in has a steel door, no way out. However, Rand is able to summon an immense amount of strength and break it down. She then tells them that she alerted a Fade right before Thom Merlin, the Gleeman, kills her and helps the two escape. Moraine, Land, and Nynaeve come across a couple Aes Sedai transporting a false dragon. There are multiple sects within the Aes Sedai world. They are split between one of 7 Ajas: blue, red, yellow, green, gray, brown, and white. Each Aja has its own purpose and leaders. The group of Aes Sedai need 2 individuals to subdue the false dragon Logain Ablar, because he's very powerful, but he's gone mad. A group of soldiers dedicated to Logain's cause try to free him, and he is briefly freed before Nynaeve channels an immense amount of energy. And the Aes Sedai remove Logain's ability to channel the one true power. All of the individual groups end up making it to the White Tower. However, by this time, Mat has been driven mad by the dagger. Moraine is able to remove the dark power within him after she realizes he took a dagger from the Shadar Logoth. After Logain is brought before the Amyrlin seat, we see that her and Moraine are working together in secret to find the Dragon Reborn. They are also lovers, and they can't let anyone know this because they are from different Ajas. After gathering Nynaeve, Rand, Mat, Egwene, and Perrin together at the White Tower, Moraine informs them that they must go to the Eye of the World so the Dragon Reborn can confront the Dark One. She says the others who are not the dragon will die, but seeing as none of them know who the dragon is, they all have to go. Moraine brings them to a portal that will take them to the Eye of the World. While within the world beyond the portal, no one is allowed to use their ability to channel the One Power, or Manchin Shin, which means Black Wind, will attack them. One member of the group is surprised by a Trolloc and channels to defend them, but that summons Manchin Shin. However, Nynaeve is able to create a force field around them, and they're able to leave the portal and arrive at a city named Fal Dara. The city is a day's walk away from the Eye of the World. While sleeping overnight in Fal Dara, Rand realizes that he's the Dragon Reborn.
Now we're getting somewhere.
He tells Moraine this, and they leave early in the morning for the Eye, leaving the others behind so they won't have to perish. Moraine doesn't want Rand to use his powers until he's confronted with the Dark One, so madness doesn't overtake him before the confrontation. She does provide him with a Senan Grial, which is an object that allows channelers to use more of their one power. The fortress city of Fal Dara is the final line of defense between the Dark Forces and the farmsteads further south. Trollocs and Fades begin the siege on the city, when Rand and Moraine approach the Eye of the World. Soldiers of the city of Fal Dara are unable to hold off the Trolloc army, but a handful of women who can channel hold off the army long enough for Rand to cross the Bright and challenge the Dark One. The Dark One tries to appeal to Rand's desire to create his own world in which he and Egwene have a family together. Rand is eventually able to see through this and use the Senan Grial against the Dark One. He tells Moraine, "I did it," after the Dark One disappears in the light he created. The smile on the Dark One's face when this happens puts in doubt whether Rand caged him or freed him. While all this is happening, some Fades and Padan Fain steal the Horn of Valeri, which is a powerful artifact, and when the horn is sounded, the great heroes of Pattern are summoned to the battle, and they serve the Trumpeter, but always on the side of light. Moraine tells Lan that this wasn't the last battle, and she fears it was just the first. First season closes on the far western shore with an armada of ships approaching a beach with a small girl on it. Each ship has a number of channeling women on it called Damini, which in the old tongue means least ones. These women are controlled against their wills by a Tir Andrial. It seems that the battles have just begun. If you enjoyed the content, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.